Science news for this week. Let's get right into it. China. The six-wheeled robot, encapsulated in a productive probe, was lifted off on Earth by a Long March 5 rocket. Tian-1 consists of an orbiter and lander rover duo, a combination of a craft that has never been seen together, launched towards the Red Planet. The ambition of Tian-1 is especially striking given that China's first stab at the full Mars mission. If all goes according to plan, the rover will arrive at the Red Planet on February 2021. The lander and rover pair will touch down about 3 months later, where previously the NASA Viking 2 landed in 1976. Tian-1 was the second Mars mission to go off ground in the last 4 days, as the UAE Hope orbiter launched on Sunday, July 19th, to study the Martian atmosphere and climate. Like Tian-1, Hope is the first interplanetary mission by the Arab state, and the summer Mars isn't over yet. NASA plans to launch its rover in the next few days, targeting July 30th. Second, plastic. More than 1.3 billion tons of plastic waste will flow into the world's oceans and land over the next 2 decades without widespread intervention, according to a new study. The scientists who developed a new computer model to track the flow of global plastic pollution. Single-use plastic has surged in production in recent decades, filling up oceans and even land with waste and overwhelming capacity of waste management systems across the world to dispose and recycle these plastics. While a global effort to curb plastic consumption and pollution could mitigate pollution by roughly 80%, even under the best-case scenario for global action, about 710 million metric tons of plastic will be dumped into the environment by 2040. The third topic, vibrations. Now, thanks to the global lockdowns due to COVID, the world is experiencing the most dramatic reduction in seismic noises in recorded history. The reduction is faster and has never been seen before, dropping as much as 50% for months on end. The study is based on months of data up and including May 2020, collected from 268 monitoring stations in 117 countries around the world. As countries start to implement lockdowns to prevent the widespread of COVID, a clear path started to emerge, first in China in late January, then Europe, and then the rest of the world in April and March. Now for the mini topics. First, climate change. With big tech companies, Apple plans to eliminate its contributions to climate change over this decade. The company announced to reach its goal by becoming carbon neutral by 2030, it will slash greenhouse gases pollution by 75%, and then draw out the remaining 25% by trapping emissions. Apple has been able to cut back on its planet heat pollution by using recycled material and improving energy efficiency in its products. Apple's commitment comes on the heel of climate goals set by Microsoft and Amazon. Microsoft became carbon neutral in 2012, and in January it said it will become carbon negative, removing more greenhouse gases from the atmosphere by 2030. Continuing on to the fourth topic, relates to Microsoft and climate change. While the world will need to reach net zero, those of us who can afford it to move faster should go. That's why today Microsoft announced an ambitious goal to set and reduce and remove the Microsoft carbon footprint. By 2030, Microsoft will be carbon negative, and by 2050 it will remove all of its environment and all of the carbon the company has emitted directly by electric consumption by 1975. Lastly, in the space, Russia, the UK, and US and China are among the 100 nations that have committed to space treaty. The treaty adds that weapons should not be placed in orbit or in space. The US sent Russia's satellite system was the same one that raised concerns back in 2018, and earlier this year, U.S. accused Russia of moving satellites closer to an American one. In the latest incident, General J. Raymond, who is the head of the U.S. Space Command, said there was evidence that Russia conducted a test of a space-based anti-satellite weapon. That's it for this week. Hope you enjoyed. Catch you next week for more science news.